what you've seen is anything to go by, definitely there'll be more loss of probably life and property. And listening to you, you already appear helpless when you talk about the police and the kind of inaction in reacting to this. So what happens next? Do we just wait for whatever comes on Friday?
Fred, before I delve into the matter of what happens on Friday, coming Friday, and we pray and hope that the send-off of the late Boniface Kariuki will be peaceful, because that is what the family would want. But before I address that, let me respond to an issue that my fellow panelist Justina raised, that parliamentarians cannot afford to just lament and say that and blame government. Maybe just to let her and the viewers know about the frustrations that sometimes you encounter in Parliament. Any legislation that you propose will of course have to go through the processes, approval by the Speaker, first reading, second reading, then debate, it is debated and of course voted for. One, I don't think, especially now, that the Speaker of the National Assembly is impartial. And I'm not discussing him, but then we have seen that he is aligned completely to the side of government, and you see him even attending these amorphous functions called empowerment groups, and you hear even him attacking opposition leaders and that kind of thing. So if you are proposing legislation that is not friendly to government, one, I think you would need to ask yourself, if it's a National Assembly, where I don't see it, would Speaker Moses Wetangula approve of such a motion in the first place? If you are lucky to have it approved by the Speaker, and it goes through all the stages and it is debated and now it's time to vote for it, would it see light of day with government troops combined with ODM? I mean, would it see the light of day? Because of course, the majority now in both houses are those that support government, especially now with the coming of Raila Odinga and ODM into government. So it can be very frustrating even when you want to introduce a law that is pro-people, if it is not pro-government. That is just something that I wanted my colleague to maybe ponder about, because that's the reality in Parliament. And sometimes it's very frustrating, I can tell you. Now, going to Friday, coming Friday, one thing I'm sure of is that the day will come. But nobody can be sure about what will happen. The other thing I'm sure about is that young people will be coming in big numbers, just like it may not be exactly what happened in Homa Bay during the send-off of the late Ojwang. But I visited that family on Sunday, Fred, and I found a group of youths already on Sunday, self-mobilized, calling themselves a Kangema Youth Forum. Young people from Kangema constituency. Bonnie comes from Kangema constituency. So I can only imagine, looking at how the youths have been mobilizing one another in recent times. I can only imagine how they're going to, they are mobilizing now, of course, through social media and online mobilization. I can only imagine that so many of them will come because they feel that it is their rights that are being violated by this government. They feel that they are targets of these police killings. And it is something that the youths share from across the country. And they feel that the government is not listening to them. They feel that Raila Odinga, betrayed them, betrayed the cause since last year. Because when they did that particular, I can call it a revolution on the 25th of June last year, they actually asked Raila Odinga to just sit at home. And they recognized the role that he had played in past years of fighting for the liberation of this country and the rights, most of which we enjoy. And I've said that in this particular show and many other shows. And they told him, Baba, it's now our time. Just sit home and let us now do demos. But what did Baba do after that? Baba joined the tyrant. And so the youths are feeling very frustrated because they thought that Baba was the person who would, of course, he's the last person they expected to join the tyrant. And so the youths are very frustrated and do not see any hope in the future. And so Friday is the day that we are waiting for also with bated breath, because we hope and pray that we will not have any fracas. Because these youths are very peaceful. That when the youths come to send off one of their own, that there will be no goons sponsored there. But I can also assure any goons that from what I saw at Ojwang's burial, if any sponsored goons appear there, I think the situation may turn out to be ugly, because I think the youths will also not allow goons to come and maybe, for example, start attacking people. And that is what the youths have shown they are doing. I don't have any intelligence on what is going to happen.
Have you had any discussions with the probably county commander in terms of issues around security? Because it is a concern here that traders are expressing that from what you just described, it looks like